Hey, Dragonfire here, and I just watched Ocean's 12, the sequel to the remake of Ocean's 11. Of course, the ones that everybody knows, I've already watched the original Ocean's 11 as well as uh, the remake of Ocean's 11 and then Ocean's 12. Next, I will watch Ocean's 13, and I will also get around to watching Ocean's 8. But anyway, I hadn't seen Ocean's 12 in a very long time. The only thing I really remembered about it was, and this is kind of a spoiler, so just a warning there, but the part where the character of Tess Ocean's wife, Danny Ocean's wife, Tess, uh, actually goes kind of meta and starts playing herself, starts playing Julia Roberts. She plays, where she pretends to be Julia Roberts, and then uh, yeah, she pretends to be Julia Roberts because, like, in the movie, she's not Julia Roberts. She was in the first movie, now she's in the second movie. So they bring her in to be, pretend to be Julia Roberts, and then she ends up running into Bruce Willis, who thinks she is the real Julia Roberts, and it's kind of a very meta thing, and uh, that was the only thing I remembered about the movie, and actually thought for some reason I was thinking that maybe that happened in Ocean's 13 in part 3, but no, it actually happens in part 2, where they do the whole Julia Roberts playing herself, but not really herself type of thing. So, um, they do that in this movie. That was really the only part of it I remembered from the last time I watched it. But I have to say, I was disappointed in this rewatch to really follow the plot of this movie and see what happens. They do a thing with uh, the casino owner from the first movie, played by Andy Garcia, finds out who stole the money from him. He figures out all 11 guys who were involved in the hikes. And so, since he knows who was involved and he has goons that'll kill people or whatever, um, he basically gives them a chance to get their money back. Or to give the money back. They don't have all the money to give back plus interest. That's what he wants. He wants all the money back plus interest. And they don't have enough. So they got to come up with this hikes to steal another thing so that they can sell it and get the money, get enough money to pay the Andy Garcia character back, the owner of the casino, back from what they stole from him in the first movie. And through the course of the movie, they run into this other thief who's a really good thief, and they think he's going to steal it before they can steal it, and so that's, um, uh, you know, stuff they have to compete, and it becomes like this contest between the two different thieves of who can steal this really valuable item to get all the money for it first. And so, um, it's like, oh, okay, who's gonna do that? So that's, a big part of the plot of the movie. Um, in this movie, Brad Pitt's character, I can't remember the name of the character, but he kind of goes through a similar thing that George Clooney did in the first movie, and that is trying to kind of get back with his ex-girlfriend, like George Clooney was trying to get back with his ex-wife in the original. Um, or stuff's going on with his ex-girlfriend, and spoiler again, so you can skip ahead if you want for a few seconds, but Brad Pitt does end up getting back together with her at the end of the movie. So it's very similar to the way the first one ends for George Clooney. And this time, Brad Pitt's love interest is played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah, I don't like the way that this movie ends. This movie's ending kind of ruins it for me. So they go through the whole plot to steal, like a whole bunch of them get arrested. Um, Only like 3 of the original group avoid getting arrested. So they got 3 guys who haven't been arrested, and then like a 4th guy shows up because originally he was out. He wasn't going to do the hikes. But then, like, at the last minute, he changes his mind and comes back and joins the team anyway. So they end up doing it with 4, and then they also entice Julia Roberts' character Tess to come and join them as part of the hike. So she's in on it too now. So I guess she makes the one extra person, the 12th, the Ocean 12 instead of Ocean 11. I guess the 12th person in this one is Julia Roberts because she helps them with the hikes. She helps them pull it off. So her character does that, sort of. So, like, it's revealed that the one, the thief stole the egg the night before, and so the one that they, I guess, were trying to steal Oceans and his crew, the other thief guy stole it the night before. So Oceans and his crew were actually trying to steal the wrong egg. So at the end of the movie, they get arrested for nothing, it seems like. But it turns out the arrest was all a ploy, and that was, I guess, part of their plan of how to get out of the country. Was this ploy to steal this really valuable egg-looking item, egg thing that's like made of gold or whatever. And so it's like they all get arrested, but that was the ploy, I guess, to help them get deported or get out of the situation, leave and all that. That the somebody was posing as police officers. They had this crew that was posing as police officers, but they really got him out of prison or something. It turns out to be Matt Damon's character. His mom and dad are the ones that put together the thing to get them out. So, it is revealed at the very end of the movie, though, however, that the one, the thief stole the night before, the other thief, the one who was against Danny and his team, that thief guy stole one the night before, and it turns out that was a fake one. That was a replica. And the one that they were trying to steal from the museum apparently was also a replica, because Danny and his crew stole the real one the night before, or a few days before, because the real one was being transported by a kid who had it in his backpack. And that was the secret thing of like, oh, they're so afraid that a thief or a group of thieves or whatever might try to steal this thing, that they had it secretly being transported by a kid who was carrying it in his backpack. So they stole it from this kid who was carrying it in his backpack. The real one, that's how they stole the real one, and the fake one that they tried to steal and all ended up getting arrested for. Some of them got arrested earlier in the movie, and then some at the towards the very end of the movie got arrested, but it wasn't even the real one at all. So now there were two fake ones stolen, but I'm assuming the authorities got the other fake one back. So one belongs to the thief, the other thief, the one who's not part of Danny's crew, and then Danny and his crew got the real one, and the authorities got the fake one back when they tried to steal it. So it makes no sense. Why would you go through all that trouble? Once you had the real one a few days earlier, you just get out with the real one. Forget it. Forget all this arrest it and then plan where you have fake police officers come bust you out of jail and this, that, and the other. It's a convoluted mess. It really is a convoluted mess. So, yeah, I don't like Ocean's 12. Ocean's 12 is it just seems overly convoluted. It's trying to look like it's clever, like it pulled one over on the audience, like you didn't realize what was happening, and you don't get all the information you need and what really happened until the very end of the movie. So it's trying to say, oh, you thought you knew what was going to happen? Well, bam, this happened. Because first it makes it seem like the one that they stole wasn't the real one after all. It was a fake one because the other thief guy who was working alone stole it the night before. And it's like, oh, so they must not have gotten it, which it doesn't seem like they would have gotten it anyway because they all end up getting arrested. So the authorities would have searched everything on them until they found the one that they took, and then put that one back. But apparently that one was only a replica anyway, because that was never the plan all along. It was just a plan to get arrested. That's really stupid to me, because now it's like they get arrested. I know they're not in America; they're in Germany or Italy or wherever it is that they are, but still now, like, this police force has everybody's picture on file. I'm sure they took everybody's picture, fingerprints, all this stuff. So now you're like wanted in this country once they figured out that you somehow escaped, and I know the fake police officers came and got everybody out of jail, but the real police still, when they arrested everyone, would have taken their fingerprints and photographs and all that. So now they're wanted international criminals. Sooner or later, somebody is going to figure out that the real egg is missing if they don't already know. Yeah, it's a convoluted ending that doesn't make any sense. It totally breaks down if you think about it. If you're just going along for the movie and you're not applying any sort of critical reasoning about what all this means in the real world, then I suppose you could be like, oh, that movie was clever. But when you think about it, it actually breaks down and you're like, no, it wasn't clever at all. It was stupid. It totally breaks down logically. Like, that makes no sense. There were the two fake replica eggs are there, but they had the real one. None of the ending makes sense. How they get away with it, how they go away, nothing in that ending makes sense. And yeah, it's a failure for me. I do not like Ocean's 12. So maybe your opinion is different. Maybe you think it somehow all does fit together. It doesn't fit together for me. does not work. It's convoluted, and so I did not enjoy Ocean's 12 as much as I did the original in the remake. So it's been a long time since I saw Ocean's 13, but when I rewatch it, I will do a review of Ocean's 13 as well. Alright. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, all that jazz. Dragonfire out.